showdown time. You lose. Ah! Yeah! I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. The cops will be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that? Panicked. Oh, I'm sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. The first trial. And it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, huh? I'm fine. I get up at 5 a.m. to do my chores of steel voice workout. I'm fine. That explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down. If you get my drift. Drift garden, sir. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes, yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today's my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant had been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Ah! Good morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous, meeting him, cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help. So, you're fine. I'm fine. Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Galvin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend, so why? You'll see. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Sorry. Yes, sir! Okay. I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice! The court is now in session. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice. And this is your first trial. Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine. Really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strange. Mr. Galvin. Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, the defense attorney must always see to his client's wishes. My client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Of course he wants justice. But to trust this case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have cords of steel? Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. White. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix White, piano player. Mr. White, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further, then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. To think, I saw you enter this courtroom a fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains. Winston Payne! Subtle as ever, I see. The crime occurred at the Boisterous Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix White, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head! Smack! Killed him cold! Customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was the pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix White, a pianist? This is the weapon that took the victim's life, a bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently a defendant's drink of choice. Could accept the deadly bottle as evidence. Something to note, Justice. Our evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of taking it frequently. Court record. Wait! I've heard of that! Use that button to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your abilities to handle this. Wait, this use button sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. So, the victim was a customer at this restaurant? Just who was this, Shoddy Smith fellow? We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant? That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. I believe they first met at the Boast Bowl Club on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slided the defendant's piano playing? That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself. Indeed, it appears that the defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
Objection!
Is it true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim? Yet there was only that, a game in the pure sense, a competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a science class of passions. Only the cards, the backs written in blue flame, know its final outcome. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present. Impressive woman. It'll be our first order of business here then, to find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You are testifying to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My plaza. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game. And our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano? Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Wait, Your Honor. First cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Well, it's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strange and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, so you've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. But you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? Should I ask Mr. Brown for a first course of cross-examination? No need for help here, sir. I think I've got this one covered. I think you'd better do more than think. You know it, or you do not. I'm fine. The cords of steel are ready for battle. My weapon, press and present. Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies, lies, Phoenix Wright? As if Phoenix Wright would never lie. It's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table.
Hold it!
They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I'm a professional after all. Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes, your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. What? I played poker for 7 years in that little room. I've never lost. Once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, quite a draw. Wait, you never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. Poker for 7 years and never lost once? Is that even possible? The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions.
Hold it!
Room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. The First Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. Smoky room, gambling hoods, you know. Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. Bosses gather around the table cutting deals safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps right through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. The room had a few other tricks to it. It was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. The rules are simple. Play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. Hold it! 2 decks of cards? Simple measures to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there's some playing scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table and cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. The crime scene painted blue by a sad strip of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we used 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other was blue. As I recall, in poker, you make 5 cards hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, the game of hands. This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game significantly. That's right! It was a simple game, after all! Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Did you claim no connection to the crime? Now that's strange. What's strange? I was suspecting about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I can't let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. So, why not? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I would say I never touched the murder weapon. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see? And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Excess yelling condemns the judge's ears. And our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't... they wouldn't prove a thing if there were no more fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the motor weapon were upside down. Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there could only be one reason for that. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle! Ah! Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything you see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on the bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of science regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Report it? Well, that was a defendant, Mr. White. But still, that's... Really? Yes. Well, according to the case file, the murderer was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, Salway. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in his hurry to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. This is the phone that made the call. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet, he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Oh, I saved Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred? How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime? That must mean the witness of the crime. Everything up to now has been a roam-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? Someone has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. So use a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them. Sir? Sir, it's on my gavel. Please, come out. Is it violence against hair or crime, Your Honor? Well, yes, sir, it is okay. Now, the prosecution. Wait a minute. The prosecution can't explain the witnesses, paraphernalia. Yes, she's a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be? My name is Olga Early. I'm employed as waitress in Brunswick Bowl Club restaurant. Then why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to show post that is naming restaurants. I also perform, how it is said, other service. One of those other services is taking the customers' pictures. Like, for example, this one. That's the defendant. Indeed, on the night of the murder, man in white hat is one who had gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victor. Order! This is quite a piece of evidence that has been dropped into our laps. In the same way as I drop cold balls of bush on laps of customers. Casually. Because you'll casually accept this new evidence. Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in room, the hideout, we call it. Excuse me, the hideout? It is room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. Is room where murder took place. What? You look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Photos will be numbered and you will write which ones you want copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. Victim, Shady Smith, Mr. White, and Olga Ollie, our witness. If Mr. White wasn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events.